Hey Fruit Faces, it's KlaireeBerry. I just got out of the gym. I'm about to take a bath, but I wanted to hop on here and talk to you guys because I know the holidays are coming up. And after 5 years vegan, I think I need to update my video. I know I've done a video at some point. If you want to find it, go to my playlists. Look through the playlist. I think I have a family playlist. If not, I'll make one after posting or before posting this video. But I've learned a lot more, especially with my recent kind of endeavors and interest in getting more into activism. So I wanted to share that with you because I know there's a lot of newbies out there, a lot of people who are transitioning. More and more people are transitioning every day, and I just want to help people with this aspect because I know I've taken a poll on my Vegan Kansas City group. I know that, and you know, you can look around at any of the memes and know that probably the worst part about being vegan is dealing with non-vegans, dealing with people who just don't have a clue, people who are sometimes, very, I don't know, it's not really easy to sum it up on how people act, but the underlying gist is that people get threatened in a way when you're trying to take food away from them, is what they perceive it as. And I feel like it's a very, even just the fact that you say you're vegan, it's like they think that you're gonna, try to change them, which we are, kind of, because we know, what is right. And deep down they do too, really. I feel like everybody deep down is born a vegan, and it's only social conditioning that creates non-vegans. So I feel like people kind of like feel that pull somewhere deep inside of them, even the most carnist of carnists, and it makes them feel something that they may not want to heal, and they kind of have that denial going on, that cognitive dissonance, so they don't want to hear it. And like I said, like on a deep level, at some point, it's like your instinct and your subconscious is like, oh my gosh, they want to take my food away. Like, that's not okay. I got to fight against this. And that's why, all of those reasons is why I think sometimes people get really defensive. And then also people care about you, and people have been born and raised to eat meat and dairy products. I mean, when you look at the lobbying that's been going on for, 100 years or so in this country, in America, like, back in the start of the country, there was forces, there were agricultural industries, and they got very powerful very quick, along with a lot of the other corporations in this country, and we've been dealing with it ever since. They've really helped to shape our nutrition, and anybody who tries to say otherwise just doesn't know history. So anyway, let's stick on to topic here, because if you watch my videos, I can get off topic pretty quickly. So I got my reminder here. The number one thing I would say is to get as educated as possible. Literally, the more you know, the more you will not only be able to converse with people, and if they want to debate, have a debate, or have a nice conversation, however you want to put it or do it, but you'll also feel just more confident in knowing what you're doing, why you're doing. So if somebody says something, even if you don't know the answer right away, you're still going to be more confident in all the other things that you know, if that makes sense. So read the books, listen to the podcast, watch the YouTube videos, look at the memes. The vegan facts is a good hashtag I like to follow sometimes. And really, I would say have a passion too for like which side. Like if you're more for the animals, then obviously you're going to, learn more about that. But also it's good to learn about the parts that you don't know, because if you're talking all about the animals, then people say, well, what about health? And you don't know anything about it, then they're just kind of write you off. And, it's not all about trying to convert people right away. I think a lot of people, even when you do your research up front, like this was my stance, and I know a couple of my friends are like this too, like they did so much research, they feel so strongly about what they're doing, and then it's kind of a letdown when you don't start changing people right away. And it's like, what the hell, why don't you guys trust me? Like, I've done all this research, like, trust me, I know what I'm talking about, and it doesn't matter how, educated or uneducated everybody else is about food, it's like, it's not going to be enough. to change people right away necessarily. So people have their walls built up. Some people have bigger walls. Some people have smaller walls, you know. So it's just figuring out if your goal is to convert people, realize that it may be a process to take away those bricks in that wall, you know, day by day. And like I said, don't get too upset or don't get too invested in trying to change people right away, but make it more about, you know, just planting those seeds. So, yeah, just educate yourself, educate others. And like I said, you know, you're planting those seeds trying to get good information that they're going to think about, not necessarily trying to change them right away. So one way to do that too, if you're talking to them, is to obviously be really nice about it. You know, like don't take the high road, because that's always good. People in this day and age, when they don't like something, it's so easy to resort to personal attacks, just because they don't know what else to say, and just because they feel like attacked. People these days are so attached to their beliefs that they feel like if somebody's challenging their beliefs or attacking their belief on something, that they're attacking them or that they're challenging them. So always take the high road and just know that that's going to allow for a more open discourse, and they're going to be more likely to take you seriously if you're not just getting all upset. And again, being educated helps you to do that, because then you're actually making points rather than having to stoop to their level. And you know, you can always just say, you know, I don't want to talk about it. This isn't the place. Like if you're at dinner, at Thanksgiving dinner, I don't think that that's like the best place, you know, when everybody's sitting down to their turkey and stuff. Like that's not my favorite place to discuss veganism. So you can always back out and just say, you know, I would love to talk with you about this at a different time. Maybe we can set up a time to do that. If they're kind of a challenging person, or if you're a challenging person, I do recommend, and I have recommended in the past, to challenge them, especially on like diet. If they are thinking they're so much healthier than you, ask them about, if they're asking where you get your protein. You can talk to them, ask them, who do you know that's protein deficient versus who do you know that has heart disease and, you know, is dying of cancer. Heart disease is basically reversible. Not basically, it is reversible. It's the only, plant-based diet is the only way that is proven to reverse heart disease, and they're doing it all over the country. So challenge them. Go to Chronometer, say, put your food in, we'll put my food in, we'll see who has the most nutrients. We'll see who has the less saturated fat, the most fiber. You know, we'll see if I get enough protein. Do you even know how much protein you need? Most people are just trying to get as much protein as humanly possible, and animal protein is not good for you. It's not good for your, oh, I just had a brain fart. Not your spleen. What is it? I know you guys know it. Not your liver. Yeah, liver. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's been a long weekend. So anyway, that's good though if it's a long weekend, right? Anyway, I'm not above a little challenge, but I have yet for one person to take me up on that, because I think they know they're going to lose. So yeah, another thing is just to stay really healthy. I think being healthy is its own form of activism, and if you're super healthy and they're on a bunch of medications, then what can they really say, you know? And you know, just staying active, staying fit, staying slim, you know, working out, and eating healthy is just, it's going to help you. And if people see you getting more and more healthy over time, you know, that is very powerful, because deep down everybody wants to be healthy, everybody wants to look good, everybody wants to feel good. So that's one of those things where it can really, and in fact, that's probably been the biggest thing for me. Anybody that I've turned for any length of time has usually been off of diet personally so far. So yeah, share, you know, share. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Share on social media so that they know how passionate you are. And once, you know, people will usually, you know, fight you on it for a little bit, like family members, they'll like fight you on a little bit, they'll bring up their concerns, and their concerns are a lot of times, you know, just like those walls, like I said, that's blocking them from possibly going vegan themselves. So over time, just know that every objection is not a personal attack on you, even if they make it seem like that, even if they're not mature enough to make it, you know, about the actual point that they're trying to, you know, make. But I used to get kind of upset and be like, well, again, don't they know I'm doing my research here, you know? And it's like, well, how would they know how much research you're doing unless you tell them, obviously? But even so, who does research? Everybody can do different research. But if you are, you know, steady with it, if you show that you're educated, you prove that you can have a conversation about whatever they want to talk about. And like I said, even if you don't know, be like, oh, well, that's a good question. Let me get back with you, and go to your vegan support groups, go online, do some searches, try to just figure it out to the best of your knowledge. And then you can come back to them and have a conversation about it. And once they know that you're serious and it's not just like a little fad or a phase, which a lot of them will say that and will think that, and you know, they don't know how deep it is. They don't know that it's about the animals and the environment and, you know, your health and everything else, people, and I think I said the environment and everything. So once they see that it's not a phase and that you're serious and that you're staying healthy and that you know that you're talking about, then all of their objections are just going to dissipate, even if, you know, they do or do not go vegan. But most people, you'll see that you'll rub off on at least a little bit, and people will start to eat less and less meat, whether it's around you or not around you, just by you being who you are, even without having to have a ton of conversations with them. So, you know, and the last thing is, if they're really rude about it, if they're always jabbing you about it, you know, obviously first let them know, be like, this isn't like a funny thing to me. I don't really appreciate you doing this. Like, you don't know how it feels, obviously, but I just want you to know that I would rather you not do that. And then if it keeps on happening, just cut them loose. I mean, who says you have to go and eat every meal with your family? You can show up after the meals. You could show up before the meals. You could go plan other events, or just not see them. If they're really being assholes about it, you don't need people like that in your life. And even if you're in a place where you don't have a lot of vegans, then you can make friends online and have some kind of support. And like here in Kansas City 5 years ago, there wasn't as many vegans. There were a lot of vegans, but now there's just even more. So, you know, if you don't have a local Facebook group for yourself, for your area, for vegans, create one, and it will draw in vegans that you can become friends with, and you can feel that support. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Don't forget to find me on social media. I'm KlaireeBerry all across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest. And I have my own website at KlaireeBerry.com, which is just basically a lot of studies that I found over the years and that I'm continuing to find that back up veganism. So yeah, like I said, leave me a comment if you have anything to say, any requests, any comments. You can go to my Tumblr and do anonymous questions if you want me to answer them here on a Q&A at some point. So yeah, that's it for tonight, guys. Take care. Don't forget to eat your fruit, and I will see you soon. Have a great week.